Imagine the lasting impact a single breach of trust can have on child's mental health. Establishing clear boundaries between adults and children is not about fostering respect, it is a crucial step in preventing harmful crimes like pedophilia. These boundaries are essential for protecting the innocent and emotional well-being of our future generation, ensuring they grow up in a safe and supportive environment. Pedophilia cases and related issues significantly contribute to mental health problems among children. Recently, this concern has dominated headlines, highlighting its alarming prevalence. Children often unaware of the dangers fall victim to exploitation and are vulnerable even in seemingly safe environments. Many do not fully comprehend the abuse they have ended until they reach maturity. When the realization of the experience can lead to severe mental health challenges such as depression and social anxiety, addressing this issue is critical to protecting children and safeguarding their emotional well-being. Many individuals who experience depression as a result of sexual abuse were often victims of pedophilia during childhood. This traumatic experience can lead to deep-seated emotional scar, manifesting as depression, anxiety, and lasting trauma as they grow into adolescence. Some may develop a distrust or aversion to the opposite gender, making it challenging for them to communicate, build relationship, or collaborate effectively. If such issues persist unaddressed, future generations may face a significant rise in mental health challenges. Additionally, these unresolved traumas can hinder their ability to secure employment or perform everyday tasks, severely impacting their quality of life and societal contribution. So, we must prioritize protecting and supporting victims of pedophile crimes by providing immediate assistance and long-term care, establishing safe havens where victims can recover, rebuild trust in others, and heal from their traumatic experience is essential. Government should create specialized team of trained professionals to help victims manage depression, anxiety, and other psychological effects. Additionally, parents play a crucial role in safeguarding their children by teaching them self-defense and raising awareness about potential dangers. To further enhance protection, government should implement 24-hour safety center and hotlines to ensure victims have quick and reliable access to help. By adopting the measures, we can work together to prevent such crime and protect our children from harm. Lastly, setting boundaries between adults and children is a vital step in creating a safe and protective environment for young ones. It is every adult's responsibility to establish clear, respectful, and appropriate interaction with children to prevent any opportunity for exploitation or harm. By fostering open communication, educating children about personal safety, and holding adults accountable for maintaining ethical behavior, we can build a community where children thrive without fear. Take action today, prioritize boundary setting in your interaction, advocate for awareness program, and support policies that safeguard our youth against the alarming rise of pedophile cases. Together, we can create a safe future. Thank you.
From National Sex Offenders Registry, a typical pedophile will commit 117 sexual crimes in a lifetime. But why is this happen? An increase in dual income and single parents families imply that children are more often with their teachers, coach, and caregivers and getting most of their attention from strangers rather than family members. Oversharing personal problems with children often serves to blur boundaries and leave them vulnerable to grooming by those who would harm them, such as pedophiles. This may expose them to adult topics they are not ready for, normalizing adult levels discussions and emotion exchange that can create confusions and make them more vulnerable to manipulations. Difficulty establishing trust arises when a child feels burdened, betrayed, or overwhelmed by an adult's oversharing of personal problems. In this situation, the child may perceive the adult as unreliable or unsafe because the adult has violated the child's need for stability and protections. Trust is foundational to healthy relationships, and when it is broken or compromised, the child may become hesitant to rely on others, even in a relationships where trust is warranted. This can manifest as reluctance to share their own feelings, fear of being judged, or skepticism about the intentions of others. Over time, this lack of trust can lead to social withdrawal, strained relationships, and difficulty forming meaningful connections with peers and other adults. It can also create a deep-seated belief that relationships are inherently risky or unbalanced, which may persist into adulthood, complicating friendship, romantic relationships, and workplace interactions. Clear emotional boundaries are needed for adults to avoid oversharing with children, and this needs to be handled among peers or professionals instead of burdening children with issues that concern adults. Children lack the capacity to process these problems and can easily feel overwhelmed emotionally. Adults should model healthy communications by addressing tough topics in an age-appropriate way and maintaining their roles as caregivers, not confidants. Teaching adults about boundaries empower them to voice discomfort and ensures a safe, supportive environments for their growth. Let us do our roles to decrease the amount of pedophile cases by create the boundaries between adults and children.
Thank you, Anis. So we see that nowadays children are dangerously exposed to all these pedophiles, and it is not surprising to take note that most pedophiles they have such easy access to kids when they started to get their make their own way into the child security department by signing up as an employee or like in a foster worker. So when agencies don't have strict screening protocols when they choose their employees, it's going to allow those pedophiles to get into the department, which gave them a wide range of access to the kids, so they can do abuse and a whole lot of horrendous acts to the children. This has been inclining the worries and concerns of people around. They've been thinking that this place that they they hope could safeguard the children, in the end turning them around by letting all these pedophiles getting in just because they don't go strict on their regulations. So foster care house or even any child security agency should be more aware with this. They should seriously take note on how they screen the employees, because nowadays people just let anyone enter the department without even looking deeply at their past working experiences. So by we enhancing the protocol, we can at least prevent the cases from happening. And forgot to add, we can also like do regular monitoring while working, because we need to identify if there's any suspicious behavior happening between the kids and the employees. So by doing this, we can regain the trust of the people that such child security agency can actually protect the children from all these predators. And I think by doing this, we can make sure that the children will be kept on a safe level, or in a safe radar, far away from those pedophilia, and we can ensure a better future for the children without getting traumatized by their workers. So that's all from me. I'll pass the next point to Shahmi. Thank you.
Thank you, Afizi. So finally, we're going to move on to my perspective, my point of view, which are the technological aspect. The growth of technology nowadays give us human a lot of possibility. However, some people were using the technology at the wrong use, such as the pedophile using some features such as dark web, AI generator, end-to-end encryption method feature, and many more to get the victims and causes the increase of pedophile case. You guys know, but in 2021, there was a case where a man was arrested for having lots of children's sexual images and video. He was using a young girl picture and befriending a lot of boys online to get their trust. Once they were friends, he will send fake sexual images of the girl, of young girl, 15 years and below, and demand the boys to give him back theirs. Once the boy give them their video and images, he will then use those things to blackmail them into getting more victims, such as their younger sibling and more. To some extent, some victims need to sexually abuse their sibling that were below 4 years old. However, finally, the police have arrested this man, but due to no link to his crime, no action could be done. There's no link can be found is due to the safety measure he used, which are the end-to-end encryption feature. So we need to be extra careful with the technology nowadays, especially the children, the younger generation that were constantly using this. Why? Because kids nowadays seem to be too dependent to the internet and technology. So once they were too dependent and using the internet and technology too much, they were exposed to various kind of danger, such as scammers who are pretending to be their friends in order to get to fulfill their need, who might be a pedophilia. If nothing were done, they might be experiencing a sexual trauma. In some cases, might cause them to end their life due to the stress. Besides, if we didn't do anything, they didn't know on where to put the boundary in their life. But with the constant growth of technology, we couldn't do much except monitor their activity. This can easily done by the parents and teachers such. For example, parents can monitor their children's activity by asking for their phone back at home and look at who they befriending online and activity they do as the social media they have. If there are any suspicious activity were found, the parents should be advising them on stop doing that and tell them why, so that they know that the things they are doing are wrong and are not exposed and will not be doing that and exposed to much more danger. Teachers can help by monitoring the topics and action they were doing with their friends at school, because some children are more close to their friend compared to their parents, so they are much likely to be more friendly and open with their friends. If they are talking or doing some inappropriate stuff, the teacher must be advising them to stop doing those, because some light action if we're taking those things lightly, it might be worse and causing them to be victims to this sick-minded pedophilia. With all this, I beg for everyone's concern of the young generation so that they have a better childhood and will not be experiencing this such trauma which cause them to be depressed and having no lights on their future. So that's all for me. Thank you.